Back when he was Treasury Secretary, Gordon Brown maintained that lighter financial regulation created jobs and wealth in the economy. But that economic climate has changed dramatically during the past 6 months, and the global downturn seems to have changed his view. Writing in the Observer newspaper, Prime Minister Brown says Britain needs a more responsible banking system. What he would like to see is a return of more conservative, old-fashioned banking practices. Interviewed on Britain's Sky News, Brown's finance minister in the Treasury Department, Stephen Timms, says because of the recent global economic turmoil, the Prime Minister wants to see a number of changes brought in, including increased internal oversight at the banks.
One is around bonuses to make sure that those are focused in the future on long-term good performance, with clawbacks if the good performance is not maintained. Second, on strengthening the boards of banks so that they can really understand the risks that their banks are taking on and can challenge the management of the banks if that's needed, because that hasn't always happened in the period we've just been through.
The Prime Minister also believes that worldwide cooperation is essential to minimize the effects of this downturn. And Finance Minister Timms says specifics must be worked out in the coming weeks.
We need to learn the lessons of what's happened for how we regulate banks in the future, including internationally, because one of the problems that's emerged over the last year or so is gaps in regulation between different country jurisdictions. And at the G20, the summit coming up in London on the 2nd of April, we need to be looking at how we can do a better job internationally with countries cooperating on regulating the banks.
Many observers agree that more coordination is required. On Saturday, nearly 100,000 marched through the streets of Dublin to protest against government cutbacks as the recession deepens there and unemployment heads up. On Sunday, Mr. Brown attended a gathering in Berlin where leaders worked on forging a European consensus before the upcoming London summit. The Prime Minister will also be meeting U.S. President Barack Obama in Washington on March 3rd, where economic discussions will take center stage. Tom Rivers for VOA News, London.